Alex, do a thing.
I'll try and do a thing. Honestly, I was like thinking about this on my way over here, and I was like, I'm getting performance anxiety before I even try and start. See?
Oh no! Oh, Nova. Any from New Zealand? Nice. Anybody from New Zealand know the Nova? Oh,
You mean Novus? Yeah.
Novus?
Yeah, it's Novus.
Novus? Oh, I'm thinking of Nova Energy.
Oh, Novus.
Oh, Novus. Ah, Jabez. Do you remember when just spiking
Hey,
it was
there
like,
we go.
hey? Do you remember when just spiking it was like the...
Yes, now we've given ourselves like way... we've given ourselves like expectations.
My ego is bigger than my dick. Just kidding. Oh!
Yeah, I'm getting that one down pretty good.
We did it. Can I do a one?
Yeah, you can do one.
I'm gonna do a one. Ready?
Can you do a two though?
One. Hold up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh. Okay, never mind. You know, Maddie's not in it today. Just gonna spike this. I'm just gonna spike this. Hold up. Spike this. Hold up.
Okay, focus on that. Okay. Right.
Game over. Well played. Wang wang.
GG's.
We need to record an intro for the podcast. Okay. Welcome back to Substation Radio.
Welcome back. I'm gonna mute my phone. Look at me learn.
My name is Maddie, also known as XCVI.
My name is Alex. I was known as l-x-tricity.
Look at that. You figured it out this time.
Hey,
You knew your name.
I lost, no longer have an identity crisis. That's a lie.
Always got an identity crisis.
Yeah.
Hey, Alex.
Yes.
This is a music podcast.
Yeah.
In saying that, One Division was pretty neat.
Yeah. What?
Okay.
Okay. We've actually got like a couple topics we're going to talk about today,
Yeah.
which is kind of a rarity at this point.
I know, right? Crazy.
Yeah.
Preparedness?
Yeah.
Preparedness?
It's just because I watched a lot of music documentaries over the weekend.
Did you link me them? Were you going to?
I linked you one of them.
You did.
I linked you the dubstep origin one,
Yes.
but I didn't link you the grime one. I
Right.
also watched the documentary on grime.
Oh, that's quite fun, actually.
Yeah.
Grime Step.
Oh yeah. No,
Yeah.
it did actually cover that.
Oh, did it?
Yeah. It pretty much talked about. So it focused a lot on. Oh my god, what's his name?
Steve. Steve Aoki.
No.
He runs favorite UK grime dubstep artist.
I was guy who did like lots of sound effects in his flows. He like
What?
it's gonna bottom.
Like a rapper?
Yeah, rapper. He did like his own sound effects like that. He did that. Oh yeah.
Skra.
No, he originated that. You know that the oh yeah, that sound effect.
Uh-huh.
That's him.
I don't know.
And everyone just samples that now.
Jill Scott Heron.
I'll bring it up. It's on my YouTube history recently. So
Steve Aoki.
it's not Steve Aoki.
Are you sure?
I am pretty sure.
Is it 4 Aoki?
It's not.
What about 5 Aoki?
Fleur de D.
Fleur D.
Yeah.
I honestly have no idea who that is.
He was like a more underground grime artist, and he didn't sort of pick up when it became pop.
Right.
His style was very UK grime, and he like had like whole like joking conversations with himself. Because he really focused on the pirate radio aspect and like making himself stand out amongst the other MCs by being hilarious.
Yeah, which is a pretty good way to go about it, really.
Yeah. Because he was talking about like the guy who I was watching this documentary about. Actually, I'll find
Steve.
Timber on Toast is the YouTube channel I've been watching.
Timber on Toast.
Yeah. So he was talking about the pirate radio stations that no one actually know what the MCs look like.
Mm-hmm.
So they had to like sort of stand out in their
Field.
stand out in their like sort of bars that they split on the pirate radio stations.
True, and you know it's weird to think about the like grime and dubstep was at like the same point as like SoundCloud rappers are now.
Yeah,
Like the
dubstep was once like
like the Valhalla SoundCloud rapper scene was dubstep and grime and UK dub and all that shit.
Well, actually, that pretty well brings me on to what I want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
Dubstep was a product of its environment. The UK was getting a bit down on itself. It was very much a response to UK garage being really happy and like optimistic in the 90s, and dubstep was a bit more of a realistic look at like the sort of life in London, which is very bleak and like sort of grey and
Yeah.
so.
Which is when you listen to it, like especially like the older dubs.
We're talking about old school dubstep as well.
Not like the not your Skrillex bangerangs,
Yeah,
but you're like
the documentary I watched actually is called "All My Friends Hated Skrillex."
understandable.
All
Like,
my homies hate Skrillex.
like Skrillex is great for sound design.
Yeah,
But he's a sound design artist, really, like more than he's a dubstep artist, right?
yeah,
Like he made a lot of dubstep, but he like the area of dubstep that he was aiming at was the sound design aspect of it, as opposed to the originate, like where dub originally came from was mainly focused on the emotion and the feeling of like culture around it.
there was a before it jumped over to the US.
Yeah.
There was tear out dubstep over in the UK,
Tear out dubstep.
which was getting a bit more. Pretty much, they brought the filter up a bit, and you could hear more. There's more mid range and high end in the bass, as opposed to the low rumble that it's like used to. And a lot of people actually attribute that. Well, the documentary I watched attributed that change to the smoking ban in clubs, because people would come and go more frequently, so you had to actually hold their attention. And they started stacking tear out tracks as opposed to just more mellowed out sort of.
The doubling.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, pretty much people, and also a lot of people saw tear out and they're like, we know where this is going to end up.
Yeah. Like you can kind of already get an idea from it. So what year are we looking at? Like origin of
Dubstep?
Yeah.
Well, this documentary was talking about starting in the late 90s.
Late 90s.
And then like sort of hit its peak in the UK like 2004, 2007 sort of range.
Yeah. That's like your UKF days.
And then like obviously Skrillex came around in this picture about like 2011, 2010 sort of range.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it would have been 2011 that I got into Skrillex. I think he just released Scary Monsters and My Spirits. Yeah, I remember being in science class, and my entire science year, just me and my mate Logan sitting there trying to figure out how to solve the Rubik's Cube the fastest and listening to Skrillex. that was my high school career. Yeah, no, hey, you brought up an interesting topic a little bit earlier. And you said you want to bring it up, talk about it on podcast. But you're talking about the state of the culture of music in New Zealand, the EDM culture of New Zealand, and where you think or want it to go, and or how we can adjust.
It's not the sort of thing like I want it to go. I want it to go in more of an organic direction. At the moment, it feels very forced and fake.
What is making you? Is it like the? I mean, like, sorry. To break it down, New Zealand's been like fully focused on drum and bass for like the last, I want to say 3 years.
Yeah, like prior to that was trap.
Prior to that was trap, was like your Montel and your Quicks.
Yeah,
and,
those fucking
yeah, but I think that was a lot like
that was New Zealand developing its own sound though, which I liked.
But
I didn't like it at the time.
It was a translation because the like New Zealand music before that was a lot of like R&B rap, and like hometown, meant guys sticking up like just your boys rapping about their lives,
Sort of
growing up small towns, homegrown type.
I'm trying to think of Smash Proof,
like Savage.
Yeah.
What the fuck's their name? I can't remember their names. But like, so it made sense that the organic progression of New Zealand culture as far as if we were to move into like the EDM world, which is bound to happen because in the way that music's been kind of grown and evolving over the years, it's going to move into that digital space.
Yeah.
So it did make a lot of natural sense that it was going to move into trap rap or like trap music in itself, because trap music in itself is very hip-hoppy.
Yeah,
it's got the groove with it. It's easy to rap over. Yeah, you can always have that like combination.
Yeah, they got those two worlds colliding.
I just don't know how the fuck we went from trap rap to drum and bass. I'd
say it's the reggae dub influence, because New Zealand's the second biggest producer of reggae outside of Jamaica.
True. Yeah, and that's why when you're talking about dubstep in New Zealand, like the biggest way to influence with dubstep would be to move into that reggae dub kind of area, like fuck that Catch Fire, 660, like all the these big New Zealand bands. But how did we get to drum and bass?
I'd say just purely imported.
True. Yeah, it was.
That's like beginning to be my problem with drum and bass, is that it's a purely imported culture that we've taken over now.
Yeah.
And that's why it doesn't feel genuine.
Everything has been taken from UK, and we've just tried to make it our own. Like, I get, like, Lee Matthews, incredible work.
Yeah.
Like, love it. And, like, Nets guy, he's from Belgium, but he's like a honorary Kiwi.
Yeah.
As the majority of people. But he has been for years. Like, since early, like, 2010 days. Yeah. Like, this guy's been around and supporting New Zealand and, like, loved this country. So, like, I love that guy.
Yeah.
But I'm not too sure how the fuck we ended up.
Well, I put out a thing on my Instagram story asking what people thought, and one person responded saying that D&B just got a foothold early on in the game.
Yeah, that's true. But who would have been the ones influencing that? You got like George FM.
Well, the thing is, it was pretty much like whatever George FM starts playing.
Yeah, and they're like the EDM kings of the radio world.
D&B is also easy as fuck to dance to.
Yeah,
it's essentially just house sped up.
Yeah, and it's fast paced, so it's faster than your house. So you've got like it's more energetic.
Yeah,
you do have your big, and everyone loves big sirens.
Like I was over New Year's when I was playing a gig, and I was playing some dubstep. A person who was like, I was playing it. It was going pretty well, but like people just didn't know how to dance to it, and the guy promoting it was like, yeah, people just don't know how to dance the dubstep.
You just throw down,
right? It's just like fucking.
When I'm dancing to dubstep, I'm just imagining I'm just like punching someone's head in. Like
I'm way less aggressive with my dancing dubstep, but sure.
Have you ever seen the Daredevil Netflix series?
I actually have not.
You have not?
No.
It's pretty good.
Okay.
But there's a scene where Kingpin beats the fucking shit out of this guy. And he's already beat him to like death, and then he like puts his head in the car door, and he's just in there smashing the car door against his head.
Yeah.
Gruesome as fuck, but like that's the kind of vibe that I get when I listen to dubstep. But like I do, that's when I'm like a lot more rhythm and like heavier stuff.
The way I dance dubstep is I usually just like float from the kick to the snare, just sort of like. Boom,
yeah, you do float like a butterfly.
Yeah,
as one Mr. Bruce Lee would say. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it is where we are. I reckon in the middle of a changing phase.
You reckon?
I mean, like not by the outlook of it, right? But we are peaking with drum and bass right now.
People are going to get sick of it soon. I think.
It's a little just around the corner. We're going to have to move into something else.
Yeah. Where do you think New Zealand will take it? That's my big question. Environmentally, what will New Zealand create?
I mean, like, yeah, like do
you think we'll sink back into trap?
I don't know. Like, trap's a little bit too minimalistic now.
Yeah,
especially after you go from like full big.
But is that what? But maybe that's what we need.
Just more minimalistic, pulled back.
Yeah, people need to fucking break up to the foghorns.
I reckon maybe you could even start falling into something like halftime dubstep.
Yeah, halftime D&B is definitely coming through a bit more as well.
Yeah, and like I would hesitate to say that that's appealing much more to the New Zealand audience as house would anyway. Like house is great, everyone loves house.
Well, house is like the biggest EDM genre in the world.
Yeah, and it's not going anywhere. Nobody's ever going to get sick of it.
Like there's two different there's that whole thing that happened with what's his name? Not Carnage.
Yeah,
was it Carnage?
Yeah,
it was Carnage.
The whole like Twitter.
Yeah, all the names that blend into one. I was like Carnage and Savage. I get those two mixed up heaps.
Yeah, no, Carnage.
Yeah, Carnage tweeted out, and there's a whole fucking Twitter uproar about it.
Yeah, well, and to cover that, he tweeted out about
no one since Tim.
Yeah, no one since Tim Avicii has gone out of their comfort zone or taken risks in the EDM scene, and like it was a big Twitter beef over it.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people were like, what are you talking about? There's risks being taken every day in the EDM scene, which I agree with. What he was trying to say, which I'm pretty sure if any of you guys actually care about EDM music, you'll be in the scene and know this stuff.
You probably were on the live with us all.
Yeah. But his idea was like, Avicii, his main argument was Avicii when he went live on Ultra. Was it Ultra? No, it was Tomorrowland.
I think it was Ultra.
It was Ultra?
Yeah.
All right. He went live on stage on Ultra. Everyone expected him to just do like a standard fucking, 4 CDJ channel mixer set. And
William
he played a live band whole country music set of covers of all of his songs. And it like blew the world away. And then Brother became one of the biggest listened songs.
Yeah.
Most listened to EDM song in the world. And then Avicii died. Rest in peace. And everyone got really upset because they're like, you're not part of the scene. You don't actually hear the smaller things going on inside like the subgenres. Like you've got your fucking SoundCloud producers who are always going to be experimenting,
like,
creating crazy shit.
And like I'm on Twitter all the fucking time now.
Yeah.
Scrolling through people fucking putting up screen recordings of their record box, and it's like, holy crap, what are you guys coming up with?
Yeah. Well, like that's the thing. Where, I mean, Skrillex, Subtronics was talking about this in the live stream, but he was saying that being from and he's even talked about it in the past, but being after COVID and everything. Before COVID, songs were made to play loud in a stadium, and like, you're just there to fucking like lose your mind to it because that's the environment that you're in. You just go, you enjoy the music, you experience the show, and you have a good time, and then you go home. But because we've been limited so far because of COVID and social distancing restrictions, social gatherings restrictions as well, you haven't been able to experience that as much. So a lot of producers and artists moved on to what's it called, like bedroom music, right?
Yeah, headphone music.
So like music is now primarily designed to be listened to with headphones because you're not going to be able to go to a stage and listen to it live. You're not going to be able to go to big festivals and listen to it live. I mean, you can if you're in New Zealand. Shout out to New Zealand.
Yeah.
But the majority of the world are stuck in lockdown, so we're not going to get these big, huge fucking EDM songs that we would get.
Yeah.
Which is why I find that Disciples just falling apart because
they're still only doing Tear Out.
Yeah, like their music's designed to be listened to live in a huge venue.
Yeah.
Like if
a packed out Sweaty Club.
Yeah, a packed out Sweaty Club. Like if I was at a fucking if I was at Shed 6, right, and Disciple Roundtable were playing a full fucking 8-hour long show,
yeah, I'd be there for it.
I would be there for it, throwing the fuck down. But there's nothing that interests me in that music to listen to it on my own accord.
Not comfortable to listen to in your room with headphones on.
Yeah, like
it's exhausting.
Yeah, given there are like a few songs.
Yeah, there are exemplary songs. They're always going to be like songs that stick out, and you're like, okay, this is something different.
Yeah, but other than that, it's all just going to be the same shit, which I feel is why Disciple's kind of falling apart right now. But how did I get onto that topic? I was talking about
DMB's going to break down eventually.
Yeah.
And then we got to Carnage.
Oh yeah, Carnage. Yeah, and yeah. So basically, the experimentation of and taking risks of artists is not seen prevalent in this day and age, is what he was saying. What he was meaning is that big artists who are in position to make a change aren't doing anything about it.
Which I definitely agree with.
Yeah, I fully agree with him. Like, he got so much hate and backlash for it, but like when you sit down and actually look at his point of view, like all pop music. Like, yes, there are like EDM and dance songs that make it into the pop scene, right?
There are a few artists that are definitely doing things, like Flume, for instance.
Flume, even Bangarang back in the day.
Yeah.
Like any Skrillex song really made it into top fucking 10, top fucking 40.
Yeah, and he's always going to push an envelope.
Yeah, he's always going to push an envelope. But there's nothing... These artists aren't taking a stand and showing you that you don't have to make this fucking same shit that you're always making just to confine to the rules of whatever your culture's music scene is right now, right?
Yeah.
Like New Zealand, for example, is what I said to you the other day, because we got a little bit of a tiff about that. It was a healthy argument about Carnage, and I was I was backing him up, and I was like, look, in New Zealand, right, we've got a big music culture here. Like, people love music. Everybody in New Zealand loves fucking music. But in the music scene, the EDM scene, it's all drum and bass. You wouldn't see Lee Matthews stop and whip out a bass house song right now.
Yeah,
it's not going to do well.
Even though they said they would.
Yeah, it would do well, in fact, but they're not going to do it because why would you do that when you know if you just make another fucking takeover, you're gonna make another $1 billion and go on tour again? Like, it makes sense from like if you're making music your career and you're just trying to survive and live off it.
Well, that's the thing. I don't get why people don't go in like, we'll make a takeover, but also like you can make multiple things at once. I don't get why people narrow themselves down into, I can only make this one genre. I am this one genre.
Yeah, I got a little frustrated every time I'd like talk to the boys. Just like whenever I'd play clubs in town and I'd like walk up and like say it's like a drum and bass night, and they'll be like, "Oh yeah, like what genre are you playing?" And I was like, "I don't know, it's drum and bass, bro. It's all the same shit."
It's all buntunta buntunta.
Like, I get you've got your like neuros and your fucking jungles, and then your dance floor D&B, and then you got your fucking chonkers, whatever. But like, it's the idea of like mixing a set. Like, I get like sticking to a genre is clean and it keeps the mix like theme overall progressing well.
But it's boring.
But it's not a good set. Well, I remember
you need ebbs and flow.
Yeah, Subtronics was talking about it in the Mr. Bill podcast that one time. And the way that you even structure a set, right, is he moves. What did he say? He's like, start it with big song, chill, big song, chill, and you go back and forth between chill and big song because you don't want to hold someone's attention for too long.
And then sometimes
they'll lose the energy.
And sometimes the biggest reaction he said the biggest reaction he sometimes gets is if there's a mid drop build, he'll then switch into a completely minimal track, and that gets the biggest crowd reactions. Yeah, like I remember when I did I switched from like this. Drum and bass track. Yeah. How the fuck's it go? I'm gonna do it like we like Reaper remix. That one. Yeah. But no one's gonna do it like we like. That fucking luminous lore. Oh
yeah, just like
yeah.
Great song, by the way.
Yeah.
But yeah, just getting all that fucking energy and then just pulling it away from them and just leaving it with just like this. Just like
go into that space and just like
it's controlling the audience without.
That is the role of a DJ.
Yeah, it's controlling the audience without just throwing the shit they want at them, right? Like it's all good to please you, but like you like coffee, I'll give you a coffee. You like things, I'll give you all the things. But it's like, how about this? How about this? Speed Race is one of the best movies ever made.
I agree with that though.
Yeah, but it's the job as an audience is to get. So the job as a DJ is to get the audience to question their motives, right? Like when they're down there. What are they? Yes, they want to hear the big fucking takeovers, right?
Yeah.
And they want to hear the big songs. But do they want to hear that all the fucking time? No.
I mean, yeah. No.
There are actually one or two they do, but...
going back to that documentary I watched,
the
person making the documentary said, I found quite a cool parallel. He said, DJing is like sex. Essentially, like, the DJ is essentially trying to please the audience and they're just like testing things out.
Does this feel good? What about this?
Exactly.
A little higher? Lower? Okay. Yeah, you're right. It's not like you're not there being yourself and just doing whatever you're doing, and then the audience is going to like follow along because that's not consent.
Yeah, the audience will leave.
Yeah, you need to be engaging, making sure they're there for it, making sure they're enjoying themselves, making sure that you can cook them breakfast in the morning. making sure you're a passionate lover that they want to spend the rest of their life with.
Very invested in the DJ.
If you can make this a thing, you've got a fucking fan base for life. Right?
Sopranos call me.
Daddy. But yeah, going back to the main topic here, right, is where do we think New Zealand music?
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we're right back.
Is gonna the New Zealand's EDM culture is gonna take us. I feel like we're gonna move back into a more like book dub vibe.
Fucking hope so.
Yeah, it feels like that feels like it's what would suit New Zealand best, right? For the culture that's not even in the EDM scene, right?
Yeah.
Because EDM scene right now is a lot of like It's
Breathers.
It's breathers. It's lads, right? They're
Mm-hmm.
out there. But like half of New Zealand are just sitting at home, listening to fucking Pink Floyd, smoking
Yeah.
weed, shooting guns, right? like,
Not sure about the shooting guns part, but
it is. People go hunting like that. I'm thinking of like the like home base fucking like rural towns. Like
true, yeah.
You're not getting like they're sitting there,
yeah.
they listen to their fucking reggae, they listen to their fucking Bob Marley and Ziggy Marley and all the other Marleys and
True,
me.
because I've only ever lived in cities.
Yeah, but like in those smaller towns, that's the vibe that you're getting, right?
True, yeah.
And that's the best way. Like that's why I fucking Make It Bundum huge.
Oh,
right.
fuck, that's
that
such a
was
good track.
massive. But it's because it relied so heavily on the like, and because dubstep does, but it relied so heavily on the like reggae offbeat.
And Demi Marley, it was just
Yeah, like that's what New Zealand likes, right?
Yeah.
Like, granted, maybe not right now, but a lot of New
I'm
Zealand.
sure if like a big artist put something out like that, like say if Lee Matthews just flipped the script and put out a dub reggae
Yeah,
track,
like
it would go off.
It would go the fuck off. Like,
And then the entire EDM scene of New Zealand would change.
yeah, you're pulling in from a different culture here, right? Like we've already established this drum and bass culture. Don't leave it. Leave it here because it's great. You know, we've had
Mix it with something.
Yeah, we've had, but not even mix it with something. Just establish these scenes and keep them around, rather than just building a scene. Everyone gets sick of it, throw it away,
Yeah, EDM
start
can be
something
more
else.
than one thing.
Yeah, we're not sitting here trying to build a single like fucking mother brain of EDM here. We want an interconnected mother brain.
Well, think about like festivals overseas. Like think about EDC. They've got 5 fucking stages, all playing different genres for 3 days straight.
Yeah, and then two of those stages move. Like
Yeah. No. So they've got like 5 stages, and then a lot of those stages are like there's also art cars that move around, and they have like out there genres that are sort of coming up.
Yeah, so like I get we kind of have that right when we had Homegrown and like, but thinking to R&V this year was just drum and bass. Even the sub stages were drum and bass.
Yeah.
It was all drum and bass. Maybe you got one or two fucking...
You got a 660 sort of thing, and then you just got drum bass.
Yeah. But like 660 and Shapeshifter are like drum and bass.
Yeah, well, Shapeshifter is drum bass.
So Shapeshifter is 100% drum and bass.
Yeah.
I do miss like old Shapeshifter drum and bass
yeah.
though. Right.
Steven, go back.
Devin, go back.
They're nothing without you.
We need you back. Get back here from LA. I'm pretty sure you're in.
Like Pacific Heights is cool, but like...
It's all good and all. But is it Shapeshifter?
Nah.
Nah, homie. Nah. Nah, you do you, bro. You're killing it. You're doing well for yourself.
You're producing for... what is it? Is he producing for 660 or is he producing for... what's the other one?
Jack's Project.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jack's Project. Yeah, that's right.
And produced a lot of Neil McLeod as well.
Yeah.
If you don't know Neil McLeod, go check out Neil McLeod.
Or watch your set.
Or watch
this
my
Friday.
set this Friday. I'll be playing a couple of Neil McLeod songs in there.
Mm-hmm.
My set is going to be bonkers.
Dude, I'm pretty hyped because like I'm hyped to see the vibe that we can all create with like the music you're planning to mix in.
Yeah.
What we can do with the fucking... I'm so happy with that Blender stage.
I might have a cry at some point through that set. I don't know. We'll see. It's going to be great. But yeah, I mean, other than like the dub route, I can't think of where New Zealand...
I mean, it would naturally go there because New Zealand being such a large producer of reggae, but also I think that's sort of fallen off a little bit.
Yeah, it has. It's definitely not as big as it was like 5 years ago, right? And I think now more than ever, we're kind of moving into more of like a punky phase. Like, you're like punk thrash rocks.
True.
And like that's basically just going off the way that Darts band has been so well received, yes. And like their music's fucking great, and like I love that shit. I live for it. So like potentially we could see us moving more into like a garagey phase, like anti-establishment, and like the way that fucking the government's working, right? Is like everyone's kind of moving more towards that like fuck the system type.
Yeah, everyone's getting a bit more leftist.
Yeah. So it would make a lot of sense that we'll get a lot more I want to say disobedience or like just anti-establishment, right?
Yeah, and that's dub through and through.
Yeah, so it would make sense they'll kind of start moving in that direction.
Yeah,
but other than that,
What do you think? So thinking about like how London like sort of influenced the sound of dubstep, and it's like sort of the bleakness of it all. And if you like
Right.
listen to Burial, it's all very like, so it suits the night bus rides,
yeah, it's the like metallic clonks and,
and it's just like everything feels damp. Everything feels like
yeah. Well, that I don't know. Like the thing with New Zealand music and New Zealand culture is that it is quite upbeat here, right? Like we've got the sun. It's a nice country that we live in.
yeah.
There's nothing inherently
Also-
bad with New Zealand.
Also, watching that documentary, I really want to move to London at some point in my life.
Jesus.
It feels like such a fucking vibe.
I would like to move to London at one point, but
Yeah.
I know it's nasty.
Oh yeah, it's nasty, but that's the thing. I want to live in that for a bit,
Yeah.
live that life, then come back to New Zealand and be like, so much better.
You see all the mountains, you're like, oh, clean grass.
Oh, every time I'm flying back down to Dunedin and I see someone else, I'm like, oh my god, this country's amazing.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, like, so you think it's just gonna stay? It's gonna stay very like Kiwi barbecue.
I mean, like, yeah, that's kind of the all round vibe of like what New Zealand likes, right?
Yeah.
It's always that Kiwi barbecue, like summer in the sun, fun, like in
Yeah.
big vibe type. Like, I guess, I don't know.
We
Like,
don't have enough of like an urban environment for it to get that dark.
yeah, I think if anything, we're gonna see a lot of like the way like Neil McLeod's progressing with his music, right? It's very indie, like prog rock, like, not even that, but it's kind of like indie genre, right? Because he's bedroom producer, he makes it all in his own studio in his own home now.
Yeah.
You know, highly influenced by like Sev Deliza and these like very experimentalist artists,
Yeah.
right? And he's moving more towards this kind of like housey like vibe set. I think if anything, we're going to see maybe a fall off EDM and like more into like EDM's going to stick its culture,
Yeah.
right? But it doesn't have to be just EDM, right? Like,
I would love to see like Neil McLeod sound mixed with some dub.
yeah, like, and he's already like openly is like
Oh yeah.
there, like that's what like I live for that fucking song. It's like my number one listened song on fucking Spotify all of last year. But like he's made an EP that is both like just something like, I don't know how to explain this other than like the venues, right? Something that you'd listen to at San Fran,
Yeah.
but it's also something you can just like throw the fuck down to.
Yeah.
Because it's huge, like big sound design, big drums, like it's there, it's pumping you full of fucking dance.
Yeah. I think venues also play a big role in the sounds that come through.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's
Like we need some more fucking warehouses.
yeah, the allotted space for the EDM scene in Wellington is negative to none.
Yeah, it's clubs.
Yeah, you've got your drum, you've got your Eddies and your Biddies, and then you've got like three other clubs that might play
Yeah.
dance.
121.
Yeah.
So.
121 of there.
121's its own little world that's very hard to get into.
It's very hard to get into. I don't
You have to have the like. You have to walk in with that skater aesthetic, and then they'll take you seriously.
Yeah, you bet you're wearing checkered Vans.
Yep. Dickies.
Dickies. Yep. Rolled up Dickies.
Yeah.
You gotta be wearing
Rolled up beanie as well.
rolled up beanie, button up shirt, all the way up, slightly bigger than you.
Yeah. A little bit too large.
Yeah, and maybe a chain or two and some funky sunglasses.
Cool. Just burnt all bridges 121. Oh yeah, definitely the speed dealer sunglasses.
I love it. I love
Yeah.
the 121 aesthetic. It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's
Like-
a weird little world.
Yeah, their Instagram is incredible.
Yeah.
Everything
Oh,
that I see
yeah.
coming from their Instagram is like, it reminds me of Off-White. Like
Yeah.
the
Yeah, for sure.
the
They're like
structure of like Off-White's
very
products.
Virgil Abloh.
Yeah, just like what the fuck, but also yeah.
Their
Feeling
promo
it.
for their 121 club coming back, like that like techno running through the fucking maze. Love
Yeah.
that shit.
Beautiful. They're like early 90s
Yeah.
CG. Beautiful.
Oh yeah, I watched that over and over again. I was like, that's fucking sick looking.
Yeah, and they even went they're like sci-fi the low brand sci-fi fucking font that they went with for the Club 121, and it's all like electrical board structured. Oh, I love it all.
Yeah,
Yeah, 121, you're great.
yeah.
But
You're a bit of a like a stereotyping yourself.
yeah, kill it though.
Yeah.
But that's the way that you like build anything.
True,
right?
yeah.
Is you got to aesthetic, make your own aesthetic.
It's an identity.
Keep to it, yeah, and then build it from there. Because people love that shit, right? That's why clubs are good. That's why good clubs are good and bad clubs are bad.
Yeah, like every like club that's like an identity of a club.
Yeah.
Has its own aesthetic.
Yeah.
Whereas when you think about every other like top 40 club you have in Wellington, it's just a fucking bar.
Yeah.
That happens to have some DJ decks in it.
Yeah. I mean, like, in all fairness, you walk into any store along Cuba Street and they've got DJ decks in it. It's just Cuba Street.
Yeah.
Come to Wellington.
Yeah.
Check out Cuba Street.
Yeah. Go into Cosmic. Look at their CDJs and be like, why you never use them?
You don't have CDJs at Cosmic.
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
No. They're not CDJs, they're turntables.
There were CDJs there for a bit.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Every time I see them there, they're just turntables.
I've seen CDJs there before.
So
they might have gotten rid of them.
At Cosmic, can I come do like a 5
for
hour
real?
Yeah. In all fairness, we just need to ask.
Yeah.
We don't.
Okay, so we're talking about club aesthetics.
Yeah.
What would high voltage club aesthetics be?
High voltage club aesthetic. Blue and purples.
For sure.
Yeah.
It's like, I'd say it's like incandescent.
Yeah. I want like balcony vibes, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely like a wraparound balcony. There's like, so it's like, I want a warehouse.
Yeah.
And then just outfit it.
Pit vibes.
Industrial. But like industrial, incandescent, blue and purple.
Yeah. Like the color scheme of last week's stage, right?
Yeah.
It's like that. Blow it up. Oh.
Thank you.
Yeah, structure of the actual building itself. Like, I don't really know. A bar somewhere.
Yeah.
Ideally has booze in it.
It's a definite plus.
Ideally.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean,
I could even vibe with just like a single strobe light in a big fucking warehouse.
oh yeah, I want a warehouse there. Yeah. And then just build up from there.
Yeah. That would be fucking sick. It would look ridiculous, but it'd be sick.
I just want more, we need more warehouse raves.
Yeah. We need a warehouse.
Well, the problem with warehouse raves in New Zealand is after the earthquakes, laws changed to make it squatting in warehouses way harder. Because of the whole earthquake safety problems.
Yeah.
Like, there were lots of warehouse raves before the Christchurch earthquakes. It just got a lot harder because they introduced a lot of laws. God damn it. Natural disasters.
Bullshit. Fucking ring of fire bullshit, motherfucker. Yeah. Oh, fuck. I don't know why. I think we're... like, I'm loving where the EDM scene's going in New Zealand. Because it's progressing, and it's moving. And I like to see it.
New Zealand's biggest problem is there's a lot of red tape to get through.
You reckon?
I think so.
Honestly, yeah, but I mean, like, it all comes down to who you know. Like,
yeah, I think, but it's also a thing of like, to get in, like, a lot of raves are going illegal.
Yeah.
Because the like organized world of New Zealand is sort of pushing them out.
Yeah, true. I get, but like, and that's because it's such a marketable thing, right? Like, it makes sense to get rid of something that's happening everywhere and then only market it to people for a lot of money. Like, it makes sense, but also there are very strict rules on alcohol in New Zealand, and but I mean groups of people is not like a big thing that we worry about here. It was, being low-key COVID free. We don't have that the worry of social distancing and all that shit. But and I'm thinking primarily of like the bunker raves, right?
Yeah.
Like, that should be able to go off without a hitch, with council rules, council approval.
Yeah.
Right. It's council property. Maybe makes a lot of sense. I guess like the bunkers are kind of historic.
Like
buildings, right? But I think I don't know. But then it's kind of like falling back into like pirate radio aspect of it,
exactly,
right? We do everything like illegally because fuck the establishment. I don't know. It's just trying to build like a good relationship between
like for
the community and the council.
For things to continue, there needs to be that legality.
Yeah.
otherwise you'll eventually get suppressed.
Yeah. You can't run riots 24/7.
Yeah, like Graham documentary I was watching, they government so council in the UK started having questions on their forms like, what is your target audience?
Yeah.
Their previous question before they changed it from that is, will there be any minorities there?
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not ideal.
The thing is, like, there's like a sort of level of like government just being like a little bit like too forward on a lot of things.
Yeah.
And like sort of being a bit more discriminatory. Like it's a lot and it's a lot easier in New Zealand to like say do an art gallery opening
Yeah.
than a rave.
Yeah.
So like one's not gonna be riffraff essentially.
I mean, honestly, if you ask me, you're going to get the same riff-raff going to a fucking art gallery than you do going to a rave in New Zealand.
Yeah,
Like,
but
that's just the culture around it.
but they're not going to go off.
Yeah, true. The stereotypes around them from that point are, yeah, you know, raves are there for like people to go crazy, and like there's always going to be alcohol involved.
Yeah,
Drugs are going to be involved, and then from that point, people become unpredictable, right? Like you can be an upstanding citizen, you can be a fucking doctor, but you can still end up throwing your fucking cheeseburger at a taxi driver.
Yeah,
right. So it does make sense that they're trying to limit it, but it's like, you know, how far do you go to limit people from actually enjoying their lives?
yeah. That's the balance of government and
Yeah,
like that's just the societal balance.
it is really. What? Yeah. What defines you from a Sith Lord and a Jedi Master?
We just need more grey Jedis.
I did it. I brought hope to my new empire.
Our new empire. Alright.
Oh my lord. All right. What are we sitting at?
We're sitting at 40 minutes.
20 minutes. All right.
Do we want to talk a little bit about One Division, or do we want to actually make this a 100% music podcast at this point?
I mean, we can touch a little bit on One Division, just a bit, because we've been covering every other week, so it'd be rude not to give you my opinions. Fucking crazy.
Yeah. Oh my god, I'm a big fan of the fact that they're now doing parallel real world and in the hex. That's what they're calling it now, I guess.
Yeah, but like now we see both
outside of Westview and inside of Westview at the same time. Love it.
Okay, you know, starting from the start, right? When we got Agnes come in, oh, the babies are crying.
Yeah.
Wanda looks fucking exhausted.
Yeah.
And Vision looks pretty okay.
Yeah. But Agnes has really just like sort of come out and been like zero fucks given from now on.
Yeah, she is testing. She's running tests. Like she knows what she's doing. She knows that there's something going on. Like nobody else would break character like that and be in that universe and be like, oh, should I take it from the top?
Yeah.
Right. So she's forcing Vision. I think she's turning them against each other.
I think that definitely, because they had a big fight at the end of the episode too.
Yeah. So like Agnes is there fucking pulling strings, man. I still don't really know where the fuck this is going.
Yeah,
right?
she's like low-key forcing Wanda to gaslight Vision.
Yeah. A whole bunch of shit happens. Kids age themselves. The kids know that she can save people's lives.
Yeah.
That she can stop people from dying, which is scary because how the fuck they learn that?
Yeah. These kids are going to get manipulative.
Yeah. Manipulative.
Yeah, right? It's hard to say when you think about it.
They can grow themselves, right? They can age themselves.
What am I saying? Gonna get? They're already manipulative.
Yeah. And then that's really it. That's all we really know about the twins. Moving along. Speed Race is back. Silver.
I was like, yeah.
Quicksilver's back. Not the Quicksilver we're expecting. It's not the Quicksilver we're expecting, Alex.
No.
Where did he come from?
He came from Fox.
He came from X-Men. He's an X-Man. He's the Quicksilver from X-Men. He turns around, it's Evan Peters. And my flatmate was talking about it. He's like, oh yeah, like what if Evan Peters came back as like Quicksilver from X-Men? And I was like, bro, like what the fuck? I'm like, that's a pretty good theory, but like I don't think they'll do this early on. And then he shows up at the end of the episode. I was like, fucking chills my entire body. I was like, wait, what? But then like the Darcy, the TV girl who figured the TV out, and the scientist lady.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's like they recast. She recast her brother, which is interesting. So that means they don't know who the fuck he is.
Yeah. Well, that's because he's from a different universe.
Yeah, I know, but it's just all weird to me that this is like actually happening, right? Like, and it makes sense. Like, this is the natural progression of MCU, right?
Yeah, this is how they're going to tie it all together.
I'm not even tied all together, but like, you know, how did it start? Iron Man, right?
Yeah.
One guy puts on a suit. One bad guy turns into a still somewhat pretty bad guy.
Yeah.
But his morals are somewhat changed.
Yeah.
Right.
Pretty much like he made weapons. He was like, oh no, these weapons are bad. No fucking shit.
Yeah, these weapons are bad. Therefore, I'm going to make one big one to myself and no one's allowed to touch it. Stay away from me. I have the big, powerful weapon now.
I've got a reactor in my chest.
Yeah. And then, you know, a couple other superheroes land. Some are from space. Everyone's like, whoa. And then they all come together and then they fight a bad guy.
Yeah.
Right. And that's like your first tier. Second tier, big bad guy. Oh no. Artificial intelligence, right? Big bad guy of New Zealand, of the world, right? There's artificial intelligence versus the people. And then the people make the artificial intelligence and then there's people fighting people, right? Where can you go from there? Bigger bad guy of the universe wants to kill the entire universe, right? Once you're at that point, you've reached the fucking limits.
Yeah.
Right?
Wants to kill half the people in the entire fucking universe.
Yeah. Nobody can be as bad as that.
Yeah.
Right? Unless there's like they could have easily just done another big bad Thanos.
But they would be like, yeah, we've seen this before.
Yeah, but nobody cares about that. Where do you go from there? You've clocked the universe.
Yeah.
In the MCU.
Yeah, they really have.
So what do? You make more.
They could just side quest.
Yeah. Well, that's what they're doing with the fucking TV shows.
True.
You make more universes. How do you do that? Well, in the last Avengers movie, let's have them space and in time travel. And then time travel can lead to multiple universes. And then what are you going to do from there? You make multiple universes, and then that's where the progression of Marvel's going. And it makes so much fucking sense, but I don't know how I never thought of it.
I mean, we all knew it was going multiverse.
Well, yeah. I mean, like, after Endgame, right? There was no... There was like, well, what do you do now, right? Like, Tony Stark's dead.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Captain America, somewhat dead. Spoilers. And like all the...
I don't give a fuck. It's been too long. If you don't know, you don't. Like,
yeah, it was like 2018. Fucking get over it.
it's been 3 years. Ish.
But like, there's no... like, this is the best path that it can go on, and I'm really excited to see where it goes.
Yeah.
My brain just trailed off super hard.
Like, the Spider-Verse multiverse, Spider-Man multiverse of madness. That's what it is, right? Is that...
What? No, Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange. What's Spider-Man again?
3.
Oh, there's no like name for it?
I don't think so.
Oh. But yeah, Doctor Strange multiverse of madness.
Yeah.
Do you reckon they're just going to start throwing every IP they've Disney has bought up and now can throw into one movie? I think they're just going to draw in the old X-Men. Now we've seen Quicksilver from the other X-Men show up.
I don't know if we'll get all of them. We probably won't get all of them. I think what they're going to do is that this is going to how they introduce X-Men and mutants into the MCU, right? Because the mutants and X-Men have existed throughout the MCU.
Yeah.
They are there. But we just haven't been able to see them because of licensing rules and copyright. But now that this all belongs to Disney, to Mickey Mouse, we now get a chance to start seeing the mutants and X-Men moving on into the MCU. There's only one way to actually like do that right, without like completely mindfucking. Not even retconning, but without completely mindfucking all of your normies, right? Like, all your nerds will get it, right? If you see Quicksilver show up, you'll be like, oh, it's Quicksilver, right?
Yeah.
Or if you see Wolverine turn up in the MCU, you'll be like, it's Wolverine. It makes sense.
Yeah.
he's a Marvel
He belongs
character.
here.
That's where he's supposed to go. But people will be like, this isn't an X-Men movie. What's he doing in here?
Yeah.
Right? So the best way to do it is to to expand it into a multiverse, which they've done, and then bring over the fucking X-Men into the MCU through multiverse whoa fuckery, right? And that introduces these characters in this scene, and then from there we can see the parallax of those characters in this multiverse.
Yeah.
Right.
Do you know what I'm waiting for?
What?
Well, I'm not waiting for it. I don't think it's ever going to happen. But Disney just being like, hey, we own everything. Let's just put Star Wars and Marvel.
Oh, it's not too far off. I mean, they already did it with the fucking Lego movie.
Oh, yeah.
But in all fairness, Lego low-key owns every single IP.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of weird thinking that. Like, the Star Wars...
Everyone's like Disney, but like, and then everyone's like, nah, Lego.
Yeah. Give Lego, like, Lego, just brand yourself as Lego and then move into everything else, right?
Yeah.
Then they own all the IPs for everything. I guess it's like the lookalikes, the Lego lookalikes they own
Yeah.
rights to. Right?
I saw it like, there's a whole thing of like Lego Star Wars has a different canon to main canon Lego.
Yeah.
Like in the Lego Star Wars games, they make like sort of more, they make references to the main canon, and sort of there's like one particular one that I saw that was quite funny, and like it was like the killing youngling scene.
But he caged them.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. I watched that scene last night. Actually, I was super tired.
Like we haven't covered that on this podcast already.
I was super cooked. Ate an edible, and I was sitting there watching fucking.
And you fucking sent me a message, and I was like, well, you didn't invite me.
It's KK Monday. Yeah, and then man, that movie is fucking heavy. And it's always like the first half of it's like, this is kind of weird.
Yeah.
And then it like switches, and then Jewel of Fate starts playing when Yoda and Palpatine are fighting.
Yeah.
And you're like,
Ba-da-ba-da.
and then Brothers plays when they're, oh,
No,
you were the chosen one.
like I've watched that movie I don't know how many times, but I still fucking cry.
Yeah. Oh, so good. So good. Anyway,
Can we have more Star Wars content? I want to talk about that.
WandaVision, however. Yeah, multiverse shit coming out. Next episode's out on Friday. There wasn't really much to cover in this episode other than shit's going wonky.
Yeah, like we're starting to get some answers.
Yeah, just seeing fucking Quicksilver come back was like... and then trying to explain it to my girlfriend who's not watched any of the MCU or X-Men movies, who the fuck he was and how he has anything to do with this show was very hard to explain.
Oh yeah, just like on completely off tangent.
Yeah.
I watched a video on YouTube the other day where it just like thought of like Oblivious girlfriend. You should get her to make you a loadout on Warzone, because I saw a video of like one guy made his wife make him a loadout on Warzone, and then he played around with that loadout. You should do that with Sarah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. That could be fun, actually.
Yeah.
No! But I don't even have good... Like, if I had all my guns, like, maxed out weapons, it would make sense, because then she could go through and make some, like, cool things with any gun that she wanted.
But the thing is, she can go through and, like, just pick out what you have, and just, like, don't say anything.
Yeah.
Just show her the screen, be like, you go in here, you click on the gun, you choose the gun here, you go into the gunsmith, you add attachments, and then just sit back, and then just be like...
Oh, no. I mean, it'd make a good video, but...
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking.
I'll see if Sarah's keen on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. But, yeah, Marvel, eh? How about that? I've actually converted Sarah into an
Nice.
MCU nerd now.
Yeah, like, yesterday, had fucking lanes, everyone just be like...
Yeah.
Back, I was like, is this a podcast?
Everybody's talking about WandaVision. I was like, yes, yes. My girlfriend, who has always hated the Marvel movies and comic movies, she never got it. And there's this, yeah, she was like, I showed her, she started watching WandaVision with us because she was just here with me and my flatmate when we were watching it. And she was like, wow, this is really cool. And then I was like, yeah. And then we watched all of it. And she's like, this is fucking incredible. I love this. she watched all of WandaVision.
Mm.
She's like, "What is this about?" And then I was like, "Oh, blah, blah, blah." And then we showed her some like clips of like Quicksilver from the X-Men movies.
Yeah.
And she was like, "What movies? What movies were those clips from? Like, what movies were they?" I was like, "Oh, they were the X-Men movies." She was like, "Do you want to pull one on?" And I was like, "Yeah." So I put on First Class just to, like, get her started.
Could we pull this off? Week before the last episode of WandaVision, we get everyone everyone from that group that we're talking to that we can onto the podcast and have one big WandaVision podcast.
Maybe, I don't know.
Could we pull that off?
I mean, good. I just don't know how well everyone will take being on camera.
I mean, you just sort of forget you're on camera.
Well, I mean, we're good at it because we.
I just ignore the fact that's there.
But we're camera people, right? We want.
Hardly.
Well, I mean, like, you know, we started this off wanting to like have a camera part of like what we're doing, right?
Right. Yeah.
And the people behind it, and we've gotten used to that, right?
Yeah.
But these are normies who work 9 to 5s. I don't think they're very good at talking to cat.
Well, the thing is, that's the thing with a podcast, though. You can just ignore the fact the camera's there and just start talking to each other, and the camera's sort of capturing that.
Yeah, true. We'll see. I'll
Effectively, what I'm saying is we should just, like...
You want to outsource my friends for content?
Of course!
Okay.
What do you think I'm doing with you?
Wow. I am the fucking content. Thank you.
Exactly. I'm outsourcing you for content because I'm not that great at it.
And I outsourced you for equipment.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. All right. We're going to wrap it up because we've covered plenty of shit this week. And we'll save some for next week. Keep your ears.
I'm actually very happy we actually talked about music this week.
Yeah, same. It's been a while. But you know what? I always forget when I start talking about music that I actually know quite like what I'm talking about, as opposed to.
I'll watch more documentaries.
Yeah, and I'll still not have a laptop. Donate below if you want. But yeah, thanks for watching the High Voltage podcast. Substation Radio.
Don't know why I said radio like that, but sure.
If you want to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, our tag is at @high_vault_. Links down below in the description. If you want to follow us on any of them, either, those links are also in the description.
Right at the bottom.
Down below. The description is located just underneath the like and subscribe button.
In case you didn't know.
Yeah, so on your way past, you might as well hit them.
There's a little bell there too. It's fun to click.
Yeah. A lot of people don't actually know what subscribing does. You know that?
What?
Yeah. There are a lot of people in this world who don't actually know what subscribing does. I had to explain it to Sarah and Sab about it.
YouTube is so ubiquitous.
I know. They use YouTube all the time, but they were just like, because I was like, you guys just subscribe to High Voltage. They're like, what does that do? And I was like, nothing. For you, it gives you, if you choose to, it gives you notifications when we do anything or upload. If you don't choose to, it just shows your support and ups our numbers. And they're like, oh, is that what it does? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, it tells YouTube that people like us.
Right?
Right? All 41 of you?
Anyway, thanks for tuning into Substation Radio. My name's Maddie, also known as XCVI.
My name is Alex, otherwise known as l-x-tricity.
And we'll see you next week on the Substation Radio podcast.
And Friday for the virtual live stream. Virtual live stream.
Friday's going to be a premiere.
Yep.
Tune in. We'll be in the chat. We've also got a party to go to.
Oh, yeah.
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 Figure it out.
Doggos.
Oh, I can't wait to put the big turtle. Oh, we're the big turtle. Okay, bye.
Bye.
Hey, Alex.
Yes.
Welcome to the credits. This is the end of the podcast. This is the parts that's playing afterwards with the end credits.
Oh.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.